Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah, I could say.
So now I have this package imported. Now I can use the map. Similarly to list and to set, here the parent class is map, parent interface is map,
Mm-hmm.
and your child is, you are having like tree map, hash map. Okay. Similar
Okay.
to hash set and preset, we are having hash map and tree map. But in the case of map, we will store the values in the form of key value pairs like name, probably, like that. This is the key. The value which is on the left side is called as key, and the value which is present on the right side is called as value. Okay, before what we used to do in set, we have given only one generic type. Like we are giving only one generic type for storing the values directly. But now here we have to give two generic types. One is to store the key and the other one is to store the value within this angular brackets. Did you guys understood? Within this angular brackets, now we are storing two different types of elements. Like this is also a string and this is also a string. So that's why I'm giving string comma string. Whereas if I want to store ID and um, the values of it, then I have to give integer here. First let us start with string, then I'll show you with different things. So the hash map is the child class of map interface, and here we are storing the values in the form of key value pairs. So it is having a key and a value. So you need to specify both data types, like what is the data type of the key and what is the data type of value. So
What
now
is key, Surekha?
key means like the value which you are trying to store. When you are giving, for suppose in this put
Okay.
method, if I am giving name, name as Pravalika, then the output, if I am trying to print this map, you will see the output as name equal to Pravalika.
Oh, okay.
So the key is the left side value and the value on the right side is the value which is holding.
So
So
it's
the
trying
name
to
variable,
map the
yeah,
relation between the name and
name, yeah.
Pravalika.
So Pravalika is the value and name is the key.
So have you already created the interface as a map interface and hash map class? Huh? Because now you created a class map demo, but not a hash map class, right?
No, these are part of collection interface. No, that's why you are importing this
Okay, okay,
java.util.star.
okay.
These
These
are
are the
already
interface.
implemented.
Acha, okay, okay. These are the by default classes,
Yeah, these
but
are
they're
by
available
default
in the util
classes.
package.
Similarly to set only, like here how we have written like set equal to new tree set. In the
Yeah,
similar
yeah.
way, we have written map equal to new hash map. Only
Okay.
difference is here the values are stored in the form of key value pairs.
Okay.
This is generally used in the case of filling a form. Like if you are filling a form, then you'll have your first name, last name, address, phone number, and all, right.
Yeah. So
So
it's only for two parameters, or can be more than two
no,
also?
only two parameters.
Okay.
I'll delete my front row. So you'll see the output like this. But if you see here, I have given the number also in the form of a string. Like I have inserted it in the double quotes. If I'm not giving it in double quotes, then I'll get an error because the type int is out of range. This integer type is not mapped in my value. I'm expecting my value to be a string, but if I'm passing it as a number, then it doesn't take. Okay. The method string in map is not applicable to string comma int.
సురేఖ ఒకసారి ఆ మ్యాప్ లిస్ట్ కానీ సెట్ కానీ ఒకసారి ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒకసారి చూపించా.
So in this set method in set class, like you'll use the add method to add the elements, whereas in map you'll use the put method.
ఓకే ఓకే. The set dot add, Surekha, this line is called as object.
No, it's just like a method.
Method.
Whenever you
Okay.
see round brackets between a name, like after a name, it is a method. Like main, you're having these brackets. Add
Yeah.
the brackets.
Okay,
Sorted
okay.
brackets. So whenever you print a learn, it's a method. So everything, all these are methods.
Okay.
Only in the case of object creation, when you're using the new keyword, then only you can say that the object is created.
Yeah. Okay, I got it now.
So now if I want, let me try to store one other type of map. Now did you understood the map?
Yeah, I got it.
So now in this map, if I want to print all the keys, then I have to use map.keyset. So if I am running this, it will give me only the keys, the values which are on the left side. Map, last name, address and phone number. And if I am trying to give the value set, then it will give me only the values. If I'm using values method, it will give me only the values what are stored. But the thing here is, you can have duplicate values but not duplicate keys. For suppose if I'm again giving first name, then what will happen is, it will update the second value with the first value. The duplicates are not allowed. So initially I gave first name as Pravalika and again I have given first name as Kothakota. But if you see the output, you can see only that it is inserted once. And the value is updated from Pravalika to Kothakota. Did you guys understood? Like in the keys cannot be duplicated. If you give the like if in interview, if anyone asks you, like I have given two keys with the same name and I have run the code, then what will be my expected output? Then you have to say that the value which I have given at the last will be updated. This value will be removed. Only this value will be there. Okay, and one more property of hash map is it will allow multiple null values but only single null key. Map.put, if I am just giving null, this will work. Nothing will happen. Okay, it just gave me the null and the empty string. Or if I give something in this, then it will give that as well. So it will allow one key as null and multiple null values. That means so now if you see, I have given check and check3 and these both values are same, like it is also holding null and it is also holding null. In this case I won't get any error because my key is different. Like you can imagine the keys are as IDs because the ID values will be unique. So you can identify any value based on your ID. If I want to identify the employees in a company who are having like 3 Pravalikas, 3 Naushins, then in order to identify them, I'll take only the employee ID of them. Similarly, if I want to identify the values uniquely, I'll go by key. So even though these both are holding null null, it doesn't affect me. If I want to fetch this value, I can use the key check or key check 3.
Surika, I'm sorry if I'm confused. So the first name, last name. So the left side attributes are called as keys, and
Keys
the right side
are called as values.
values. Okay, okay. So you're saying that keys can be duplicated.
No, keys cannot be duplicated. Key is like ID.
Okay, keys cannot be duplicated.
Only values can be duplicated.
Acha, okay, okay. So now I'm clear. So left side everything is key, right side is value. So keys are unique always.
Yeah, keys should be unique. But if you try to give the same key again, then what will happen? The first value, whatever I have given, will be overridden with the second value.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Now, if you see, first name is holding the value of Kothakota.
Yeah, that is what you're saying. Which one is the last one we give the value will be there.
That value only will be stored. The previously given value will be overridden. It won't be there anymore.
Oh, okay, okay. If the key is duplicated, okay. What about if the value is duplicated? It will print the same way.
Yeah, it will give the same. For suppose here also I give Kotakota and here also I give Kotakota, and I'm just giving last name. I change the key. Here the keys are different, but the values are same. Okay, now nothing will happen. It will give me the output. So first name is also Kotakota, last name is also Kotakota. The validation is performed only on the keys, but not on the values.
Acha, okay, okay.
So map is having like 4 properties. The first one is it stores the value in the form of key value pairs. And the second property is it allows one key as null and multiple null values. That means if I am trying to put one more null as my key and it is holding some random value, then what will happen? You are not getting any direct error, but the thing is this value is getting updated similarly to the duplicated keys. Okay, now you can see here null only once and the value is updated with the latest one. So it allows only one key as null and multiple null values. So in values you can have any number of nulls. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't validate in that case. And hash map especially, it does not follow the insertion order. Any hash, whether it might be hash set or hash map, it does not follow the insertion order. It is not sorted basically. Okay. అర్థమైందా ప్రొలి? Did you understood Nausheen?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
శారద గారు మీకేనా అర్థమైందా కొంచెమైనా?
కొన్ని అర్థమైనాయి సురేఖ.
కొంచెం అర్థమైంది.
ఏమైనా అడుగుతారా క్వశ్చన్స్? అంటే ఏదైనా అర్థమైందా లేదా మీకన్నా కొంచెం అర్థం.
ఇప్పుడు హ్యాష్ మ్యాప్ లో వాల్యూస్ ఎలా స్టోర్ అయి ఉంటాయి?
ఇప్పుడే చెప్పారు కదా ఇన్సర్షన్ ఆర్డరా?
ఎలా ఉంటాయి అంటే ఇప్పుడు సెట్లో ఉందనుకోండి, యూఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ వాల్యూ. ఇక్కడ నేను జస్ట్ సురేఖ ప్రౌలి జస్ట్ వన్ వాల్యూ ఇచ్చాను. వేరస్ ఇన్ హ్యాష్ మ్యాప్ ఐఎమ్ మ్యాపింగ్ మై నేమ్, లైక్ ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ ఏంటి, లాస్ట్ నేమ్ ఏంటి, ఫోన్ నంబర్ ఏంటి. సో ద కీ ఆల్సో ఐఎమ్ స్పెసిఫైయింగ్ హియర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్.
ఓకే కీ. ఓకే, అంటే దాంట్లో వచ్చేసి ఇప్పుడు మనం కీస్ ఆఫ్ వేరియస్ పేర్స్ కానీ పార్ట్స్ కానీ చెప్పారు కదా, అదా స్టోర్ చేసేది?
లైక్ ఏదైనా ఒక ఫామ్ డీటెయిల్స్ కానీ, లైక్ ఎనీ డీటెయిల్స్ విచ్ అని, లైక్ ఒక సెట్ లాగా మనకి ఈ పర్సన్కి ఈ డీటెయిల్స్, ఈ పర్సన్కి ఈ
అంటే
డీటెయిల్స్.
ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ లాస్ట్ నేమ్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్రవళిక, కొత్తకోట ఇలాగనమాట. శారద, నరేష్ ఇలా స్టోర్
పేర్స్
చేయొచ్చు.
లాగా లైక్
ఓకే.
హస్బెండ్ నేమ్ ఏంటి, మీ ఫోన్ నెంబర్ ఏంటి, అడ్రస్ ఏంటి అలాగా.
ఓకే. హుహు.
ఇక్కడ మీరు కింద అవుట్పుట్ చూస్తే మీకు ఇక్కడ ఈక్వల్ టు వేసి వస్తుంది కదా.
ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ ఈస్ కొత్తకోట, లాస్ట్ నేమ్ అలా. ఓకే.
And if you want to print only the keys, means the values which are on the left side, then you have to use key set. And if I want
Okay.
to print only the values, then I have to use values method.
Values method. And in this, Sureka, like what is located in the left side is called keys, and what is located in the right side is called values in mapping method. Okay, ante kada?
Ante.
Surika, so like in real life examples, so for example, any particular application somebody designs or we test, no? So everywhere, in order to link up the attributes and the values, we use this map.
In general, when you want to, after clicking on the submit button, if you are registering to any company on a website, then if you click on the register button, then the details whatever you have given, those should be stored in an like you should know, like, right, this is the name, this is the phone number, this is the email address. So in those cases, developer, what they will do, they'll fetch the details and store it like this, like first name, the value which is present in the first field, last name, the value which is present in the second field, like that.
Okay, so map is so much in use then.
Yeah, even in testing also, if you want to send the test data, like when you want to enter the form, or if you want to pass in the backend testing in JSON, you will come to know later. So there also you will use this map only. Map is used pretty much in the projects.
Okay, so backend means like for API testing.
Yeah, for API testing.
మన పంపిన రీల్ హైలైట్ అసలు.
సో సిమిలర్లీ
జస్ట్ ఇంకొక డౌట్ ఒకటి ఇందులోనే. ఇప్పుడు కీ షుడ్ బి యూనిక్ అని అన్నారు కదా మీరు. అంటే ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ షుడ్ బి యూనిక్ ఎవ్రీ టైం, అంతేనా? సెట్
అంటే లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఇచ్చిన వాల్యూస్ రిపీట్ అవ్వకూడదు అనమాట. ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ రిపీటింగ్ ద వాల్యూస్ విచ్ ఆర్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఆన్ మై లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్, దెన్ ద డీటెయిల్స్, ద వాల్యూ విచ్ ఐ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ లేటెస్ట్లీ, ద కీ ఈజ్ అప్డేటెడ్ విత్ దట్ వాల్యూ. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ కొత్తకోట అని ఇచ్చి నెక్స్ట్ టైం ఈ ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ ప్రవళిక అని ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, కొత్తకోట పోయి ప్రవళిక అని స్టోర్ అయిపోయింది అనమాట.
ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు నేను మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చాను, డూప్లికేట్ చేస్తాను. యూనిక్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి రిపీటెడ్. యూనిక్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి రిపీటెడ్. సో ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ రిపీటింగ్, దెన్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్? ద వాల్యూ విచ్ ఐ గేవ్ at the last is being updated. The first value is being removed. So if I print this now, first name Pravali is there, but Kotakota is not there.
Not there. Okay.
Okay. So similarly to the
సురేఖ, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చెప్పారు కదా, ఇప్పుడు నల్ చెప్పారు కదా, ఇది ఒక్కసారి చెప్పండి. ఇది లైన్ నెంబర్ 80, 19 and 20.
So now, like null cases means here I have to give any value, right, on the key. Key should not be like ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఐడి లేదనుకోండి, like if you are trying to identify this value, if you are not having the key, that is not possible. If I have to refer to this value, I need the ID. So if I'm giving the value as null, like if there are multiple null values, like null keys, then I cannot identify the value, right? If there is only one null, then I can say this particular value is of this null key. This JHKK is mapped to this null. But again, if I'm using this null again, then I can't differentiate between these both values. So then what will happen? The update will happen. Similarly, how this first name got updated, in the similar way, this null is updated with the second value. If I run this, yeah. Wait. See, this is the exception that you need to get. Why it didn't occur before? I was expecting this exception. So now if you see, now this program was working correct. because this is in hash map. In hash map, it will allow multiple, like it is updating the value, like the second value is being updated with the first one. Where in the case of hash map, remember the term hash map. Whenever I gave hash map, and if I'm repeating my keys, then my second value is getting updated. అంటే ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇక్కడ నల్ దగ్గర ఏమైపోయింది, మనకి ఈ సెకండ్ వాల్యూ స్టోర్ అయిపోయింది, దిస్ ఫస్ట్ వాల్యూ గాట్ ఎలిమినేటెడ్. ఈ జేహెచ్కేకేకే అనేది మనకి రాలేదు అక్కడ.
సెకండ్ వాల్యూ వచ్చింది.
Whereas in the case of tree map follows the insertion order, and it is tree map is the sorted one. So if I'm trying to give multiple null keys, it doesn't allow, it will throw null pointer exception. So here you can see there is an exception called as null pointer exception, and it is throwing at the line 17. So the tree map does not allow null values, whereas hash map will allow one key as null and multiple null values. Tree map will not allow null key.
Okay, no, in the previously when you changed the child class, then you got an error, but when you're changing to the hash map, then you can, am I right?
Yeah, the hash map is having different properties and the tree map is having different properties.
Okay, list and set is like only single things, but here in the maps you have again two types, which is a hash map and a tree map.
Yeah. So what they are saying, hash map does not maintain any order, whereas in tree map elements are sorted. Okay, and here it will allow one null key. Hash map will allow one null key. That's why when we gave null, we did not face any exception. Whereas in tree map, it does not allow null keys. So that's why it has given you the null pointer exception. If I gave tree map, then what happened? It is not able to identify what is this null. So that's why it is giving me null pointer exception. Null pointer exception means there is nothing in that. It is an empty value you are saying.
ఎలా
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ నల్ అంటే ఏం లేదు, నల్ అంటే ఏమీ లేదు అని.
ఇప్పుడు అంటే నేను ఐ ప్రీవియస్లీ జస్ట్ ఫర్గాట్ దట్ యు హావ్ చేంజ్డ్ ద క్లాస్ నేమ్స్ దేర్, చైల్డ్ క్లాస్.
So hash map will allow only one null key, whereas tree map does not allow null keys at all. Remember that.
Okay.
Remaining functionalities are same only. Okay, here it is giving you by sorting out your keys. Whenever you're using tree map, your keys are sorted. So address is given at the bottom, but in the ascending order, while it is trying to sort based on alphabetical order, you are getting address first, next first name, then phone number. So hash map is not following the insertion order, or it is not sorting. Does not sort. Whereas tree map will sort. I'll give you this notes, just go through that notes. But for now, remember that the list allows duplicates, set does not allow duplicates, map stores the information in the form of key value pairs. And in list, you're having two types, array list and linked list. The only difference is based on their performance. And in set, you're having hash map and tree map. See, in set you're having hash set and tree set. So hash set does not sort by default, whereas tree set sorts the values by default. And set does not allow null values at all. Okay. And in map, you will store the values in the form of key value pairs. In that also, if you are using hash map, it will allow one key as null and multiple null values. And if you are using tree map, then it does not allow single null value also. Then you will get null pointer exception. Okay, so it's difficult to learn in one day, but just remember that the put method is used to store the values in map, and add method is used in list and set to add the elements, And if you want to print only the keys, then you have to use key set. And if you want to print only values, then you have to use values method. Okay. There is something called as iterator, which I'll say during Selenium, then you'll understand it better. Like what is the how to retrieve, and like if I want to go only through the keys, or if I want to go only through the values, then how should I do that? I'll teach you during Selenium, then it will be easy for you. For now, remember this. Okay. What is null pointer exception? Null pointer exception means it is saying that there is nothing in that, it is not able to retrieve anything because it is empty. Null means empty. Similar to like when there is no value, then we will give null. In the case of attributes like int or string, like that. Whereas in the case of methods, we use the keyword void. Void means empty in the case of return types. Are you guys understanding? Yes, no? Notion, are you having any doubts?
Yeah, like last what you said, I didn't get it.
Like the null keyword means it is like empty, it is not holding any valid value. It is
Yeah,
not
that I
having.
got. I lost you in between, I think. Like after that, you were saying something.
After that, I said like in the case of methods, if you want to say that it is empty, we use the keyword void. Right, like in public static void main, void is what? It is a return type, and what it is saying, it is returning nothing.
Okay.
In the similar way, null is holding nothing, it is not having any value. This is used in the case of storing the variables, whereas void is a return type of a method. Probably అర్థమైందా నీకు?
నాకు అర్థమైంది సురి, కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జనరల్ గా వాట్ ఈస్ నల్ పాయింట్ ఎక్సెప్షన్?
నల్ పాయింటర్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ అంటే
దాని డెఫినేషన్ ఎలా చెప్పొచ్చు? లైక్ ఇన్ ఎ మ్యాప్, ఇఫ్ ద కీ
it's not only in map. At any point of time you can get null pointer exception, but what is null pointer exception means, it is saying that it is not holding any valid value.
Okay, so for example in the interview if they ask what is null point, then if the attribute
The
doesn't
exception occurs, the null pointer exception occurs when the value is not valid one, like it is holding null key, null in it, it is holding nothing in it.
Okay, this is a little important, right?
They will not ask you like what is null pointer exception, but they'll ask you what are the different types of exceptions that you have seen in Java.
Okay, then what are them? Null point
And while teaching arrays, I have shown you one exception. Can you guys remember? Like if the array I have declared of size 5 and I'm trying to insert an element of at 7th index, then what is the exception that I'll get?
Overflow or something.
Array index out of bound exception.
Array index out of bound, yeah, because the size is only till 5 but you're trying in the
7th element.
Okay, that is one. Okay.
And
Out
now
of
you
bound
have seen
are-
null pointer exception, and now today we will see many more exceptions.
Okay.
So in Java there are two types of exceptions: checked and unchecked. Okay, so I'll show you the diagram. So yeah, the parent class of Java is object class. Okay, the head of whatever we write in Java, the parent head is object class, and this object class is present under lang package, lang package. But while writing, you are nowhere importing like java.lang.star, because by default it is present in Java code. That's why we are not importing. If you see, whenever we create any object, or suppose if I am creating an object to this exception demo class, if I hover my mouse or if I just do d dot, then you can see some other methods like clone, equals, finalize, get class. So here you can see that it is referring to the object class. Okay, so this object class is the parent one and it is there by default. So you don't need to specifically import it. Whereas in the case of util, you are importing like java.util.star. In the similar way, there is one more package called as java.lang, but we don't need to import that. So this all this exceptions is present under this object class, which is under the throwable class. Like child of object is throwable. The child of like, can you tell me what is the parent of list interface? List ki parent evaru? Who is the parent of list? Can you remember that diagram? So for list, set and map, collection is the parent. And for
Yeah.
collection, iterable is the parent.
Okay. Yeah. Because all these comes under collections, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
collections. In the similar way, for exceptions, you are having throwable as its parent. So after throwable comes the exceptions, and within those exceptions, you are having two types. One is checked and the other one is unchecked. Okay, so the checked exceptions occur at the compile time, whereas unchecked exceptions occur at the runtime. Compile time means when you save the code, runtime means when you are clicking on that run application Java program, right? So when you are running the code, if you are facing any exception, that comes under unchecked. So first we will start with unchecked. For example, let me take um, int a equal to 10, int b equal to 0. Okay, and if I'm trying to perform a division operation, okay, so what will happen if 10 is divided by 0? What will be the output in maths? If you divide anything by 0, then what will be the output?
It is not
It will
divisible.
throw an error,
It is,
right?
yeah, it is not divisible. So it'll give like, you have in maths you'll put like infinity, which is not defined. So similarly in Java it cannot give not defined value. So what it will throw? It will throw an arithmetic exception. So what it is saying? It is an arithmetic exception, and why you are getting that? Because you are dividing it by 0. But if you are getting this exception on any web page, for example, if some person is trying to use this Google homepage and here he tried to perform some operation, and if he is facing any exception like this, he cannot understand it, right? What is demo Java 11? What is this line? What is this package? He don't know what is this exception and all. So in order to make this error meaningful, we have to handle such exceptions. So if I'm performing something like this, the user should not see that it is an arithmetic exception. He should get an error message saying that the integer is, the given number is not divisible by 0. Some meaningful error message. So in order to do that, what we have to do is we have to put our code in a try block. So within the try, you are executing the code. So after the try, you have to use the keyword catch. And what are you trying to catch? You are trying to catch this arithmetic exception. Some variable you have to give, and within that you have to say the error message that you want to give. Given number is not divisible by 0. So now what happened? If this error is occurring, I have replaced that statement with my meaningful error message. So if the user is trying, if he reads this message, then he'll come to know that the value which I have given is wrong. So in order to handle such runtime errors, we have to use try catch block. So the try consists of your main code, whatever the logic you want to implement, that will be present in your try block. And the catch block is used to catch the exception. Like here, you'll specify what exception you are expecting, and based on that exception, whatever error message that you want to give, you can give it. Okay.
సో ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ అర్థం అవ్వడం కోసం అది అలాగ వచ్చేలా
If I'm not using this try catch, then what the user is facing some like not readable, not human readable. The person who doesn't know Java or any programming language, he can't understand what is that error. To make it meaningful, you are handling these exceptions. So in interview, they'll ask you like, how do you handle exceptions in Java? In order to handle exceptions, we use the try catch block, where the main logic is present in the try, and the logic to the whatever the statement or error message to handle the exception is present in the catch block. So without catch block, only with try, you cannot handle it. If you're using only try block, then you are facing an error here. Okay, one try must be accompanied with one catch at least. It should have at least one catch, and it can have multiple catches as well. For example, if I'm giving here null, మీరు తిరిగి నేను వస్తా ఎందుకు సరే వస్తా 10 minutes. Like null point, I want to put one more exception here. What can I put? One is arithmetic, if I'm dividing any number by this, and or else let us take an array int. So what is the declaration that we have to use if I want to declare an array?
Int ARR of square braces, square bracket is equal to, in the flower bracket we write the
We can give the values. Okay, so now I'm trying to do. Now what is the length of this array?
2 0 1 2.
Length is 3.
That is 3. Index value is
Index
2.
is 0 1 2. Yes. So now I want to store at my third index. Is there the third index here? No, it's not there. Within this third index, I am trying to perform this division operation. Okay, now by seeing this code, what are the exceptions that you think that can occur? When it is divisible by 0, when you're trying to divide it with 0, you'll get an arithmetic exception.
Array index out of
Yeah,
one exception.
and as you are trying to insert it out of the length, so you will also get array index out of bound exception. Okay, so within this we will put one more error statement. some error message. So
So
now
like
if I'm trying to run this,
multiple catch blocks we can write.
yeah, we can have multiple catch blocks and a single try. But if there is no catch block, then you'll get an error. But you can have multiple catch blocks as well. In this case, if you see what happened, the first exception, what is the output that you got? Did you faced both the exceptions or only single exception that it gave?
Single exception actually.
Yeah, because it is first trying to solve the program from the right to left. So it is doing 30 by 0, which is not divisible. So soon after doing that, it got an exception. Once this value is received correctly, then only you will get this 3, right? So for example, if I give 30 by 5, now what exception will I get?
It will divide some value, I think.
So now it will give array is out of bound. Only one exception is
Oh,
there,
no.
so you got array is out of bound. It will try to solve from the right to left. First the operation on the right side is done and then the value is stored. So when I am doing 30 by 0, what happened? First when it is dividing by 30 by 0, it is not possible, so it got exception, and whatever is written in that particular arithmetic exception, it got executed. Okay, when this exception is not there and then I am facing this, then the other exception will get executed. Okay.
So both will not execute, only one of the catch will execute.
Yeah, only one catch will be executed. Like first it will try to do this. After the if it falls into any of this case, then that's done. Or else,
So even though it has two catch blocks, but still it will catch only one.
one exception, because
Oh.
already you have stopped your program. So after receiving this error, it came into catch and your program is done. Again, it can't go back.
Okay, how will we know that which one will be caught first?
Based on the logic that you have written here, first I have done the 30 by 0 operation.
Mm.
So first exception that I'll get is the value on the right side. Once I receive this value, then only I can assign it here, right?
Acha, okay. Okay, I understood now. So if you give 30 by 5,
The
only
value
the,
is
I mean,
you are getting some value.
okay, so only the left side will give an error.
Error. So you are getting into that error.
Okay. So always it will try from the left to the right.
Right to the left. This is right of the equal to, right? Right side of the equal to. So first it will do the right side operation and then it will come into the left side operation.
Sorry. Yeah. First right side and then left side, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
And now, for example, after doing this, there is some error, some statements or some logic that needs to be done. For example, if you're logging into a banking application and you have done some transactions, and whether it is a successful transaction or not, irrespective of that, you want the user to be logged out of it automatically. Okay, so if you want something that needs to be done even though you have an error or not, irrespective of that, then you have to put the code under finally block. For example, I am trying to first I'll do the positive scenario, like I'm trying to change the value in the second index. Okay, then what will happen? This is a valid scenario. So in valid scenario, what happened? The try got executed, the value is stored, and I did not face any error. So that's why the catch statements are not executed. And then the finally statement, whatever is written in the finally block, got executed. Okay. Now I'm facing some error. I'm getting some exception. So in this case, the exception is occurred. I have catched that exception, but soon after that my program is not getting terminated. Whatever I have written in the finally block is being done, and then only the program will get terminated. Did you understood? What is the use of finally block? Irrespective of try or catch, whatever the code that is written in the finally block will get executed.
But Surika, see, like try block will be one. catch block can be multiple. So finally will be one, or they can be, I mean, as
No,
many
it can be
finally.
only one finally block.
Okay.
If you give one more finally, you'll get an error.
Okay. Irrespective of your errors, finally will be executed is what you are trying to tell,
Yeah,
right?
yes. Even though if you face the error or not, it doesn't count. Whatever the code you have written in the finally block will get executed for sure. So in interview, what questions they'll ask? They'll ask you, can you have only a single try block without the catch? Is it possible? No, it's not.
Sorry. Can you again repeat this line?
In interview, they'll ask you like, if you are using only try,
Hmm.
is it possible? It's
No,
not
right?
possible. The try must be followed either by
By a
catch block
catch
or
block?
by finally block.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If I give
Without
Without
catch also finally.
so if try is not there, then it will come into the finally block.
Hmm.
So the try must be followed either by finally or by catch. Okay. Try cannot be used single in with the only help of try you cannot run the code. You need try with multiple catches or single catch or try catch and finally. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. But only finally also it will not work. Like try
Only
and
finally without this only finally also won't work.
no, like without catch.
Without catch finally will work. Like if you're
But
not
it's
having two
throwing some kind of
catches,
exception, right?
the exception you'll just get it as a default exception, whatever it is throwing. You're not handling it right. You're not giving any proper message. Wow, what is the use of catch block? It was trying to give you a meaningful error message. When you're not handling it, it will just give you the default error message. Did you understood? Whenever I'm not using this catch block, what is happening? I'm not handling this arithmetic exception. So whatever the exception that Java is throwing, that only will be displayed. Oh, class pane. అక్క ఆయన కిందే ఉన్నారా ఆయన కింద ఉన్నారా ఆయన కింద ఉన్నారా
Suri.
అవునా ప్రవళి
చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ టాపిక్ ఉంది ఇవాళ. మరి కష్టంగా లేదనిపిస్తుంది ఎన్నాళ్ళకి. అంటే ఆల్రెడీ కాలేజ్ లో కూడా గుర్తొచ్చింది ట్రై క్యాచ్.
ఇది మా అక్క బిర్యానీ పిలిచారు.
అవునా? కుమ్మాయి
అంటే పైన అన్నయ్య 2 minutesలో క్లోజ్ చేసేస్తా ఇది.
ఏంటి?
ఇవాళ మా ఇంట్లో బిర్యానీ పార్టీ.
కుమ్మడే ఇంకా వచ్చేమంటావా?
వచ్చింది. Naushin, did you understood that?
Got it.
Yeah. So you can have try and finally, try catch finally, try multiple catch finally. You cannot have try alone, you cannot have catch alone, you cannot have finally alone.
Finally alone.
And even though you are having multiple exceptions written in the catch block, it will catch only one exception. That is based on the statements which are getting executed first.
Correct.
Okay. So I'll send the notes tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll give some sample programs. Try that tomorrow and show me.
Okay.
I'll continue tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be Selenium, Sureka?
Tomorrow will be Selenium. And tomorrow I'll show you like how to install that Maven project, how to create a Maven project and Selenium, and then we will start the basic Selenium.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.